This is a video showing how to explore the Information Barrie Community Database to find COVID-19 resources. Information Barrie is a community information and referral service, and it's part of our Information Services Department at the library. Information Barrie maintains a database of over 2,000 listings of health, government, and social services, as well as nonprofit organizations, special interest groups, clubs, and volunteer opportunities in the Barrie area. You can trust the Information Barrie Community Database because we check in with staff and volunteers who work at these organizations on a regular basis to make sure that the information about their organization is accurate and up to date. The COVID-19 pandemic is affecting everyone, and individuals and businesses are adjusting to new living and working situations. Our Information Barrie team has compiled a helpful list of COVID-19 resources. Whether you are searching for financial relief programs, local food banks, mental health services, or have legal questions, the Information Barrie Community Database can help. So let's go to the Information Barrie Community Database. To find community resources that can help during the COVID-19 pandemic, go to the Barrie Public Library website at barrielibrary.ca. From the main page, go to the Community section. If you hover over this section, different options come up. Go to Community Services and choose Community Information Database. This will take you to the landing page or the first page of the database. At the top of the landing page, COVID-19 resources and information are highlighted. We have records for Reopening Ontario, local information, financial relief, mental health, well-being and learning resources, abuse prevention and isolation support, grocery and food delivery options, legal questions and services, and assessment centers. If we look at the first listing, Reopening Ontario, and go into that listing, in each of these records near the top in the public comment section, you will find links to reliable sources of information. For example, City of Barrie COVID-19 information and City of Barrie cancellations and updates. These are live links to the City of Barrie's website, so it will always be as up to date as the website. There's also links to public health advice from our local health department, along with caseload numbers in our area. In addition, there are links to information from the Ontario Ministry of Health, Health Canada, and the Public Health Ontario Association. The phone numbers of the Simcoe Muskoka District Health Unit, as well as Health Canada's Coronavirus Information Line, are also provided in this section for each of these COVID-19 records. So if we look at the Reopening Ontario listing, this record provides a link to the Ontario government's reopening framework, a framework for reopening our province. It includes information about safe operation of schools and businesses during these various reopening phases. So as you can see, there's information about schools and businesses and at the different stages what was happening at that time. If we go back to again, the reopening link, there was another record there, something about travel information. So this contains up-to-date information for travelers with links to Government of Canada travel advisories and restrictions. So you can link directly here to see the travel advisories from the Government of Canada. If we close that record and go to the next one, we have local information. This contains reliable and up-to-date sources of information as well as information about COVID-19 symptoms. So again, we have a link to the Ontario Government Self-Assessment Tool to determine if you need to seek further care, and also advice, public health advice about preventing the spread of COVID-19 in the community and links to different reliable sources of information. Closing that record, and we look at financial relief. Many individual Canadians and businesses have faced financial hardship as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. In response, the federal and provincial governments have implemented a number of emergency benefits related to COVID-19. This record provides a quick way to access information about what is available and who is eligible for these benefits. Benefit programs are changing as the pandemic continues. Information Barrie staff are continuously monitoring these changes and updating the database to ensure that it is as accurate and current as possible. So looking at this listing, the Financial Relief Navigator is an online tool that provides information to help access emergency benefits related to COVID-19. So that's a useful thing to look at access. And then we have federal benefit programs listed here. So the Canada Recovery Benefit, the Canada Recovery Sickness Benefit, and the Canada Recovery Caregiving Benefit, as well as information about the new and expanded EI program. There's also information about support available for students, for seniors, and for businesses. And then we have provincial benefit programs listed near the end of the record, as well as information for people having difficulty paying their utility bills and telecommunications relief packages. Closing that record out, we have mental health, well-being, learning resources, and school attendance. In this listing, you'll find information about attending school as well as online family activities, learning, and mental health resources to help you through the COVID-19 pandemic. Going to the next record, COVID-19 abuse prevention and isolation support. This listing contains information about safety resources, crisis, distress lines, support for older adults, and online community groups to help reduce the effects of isolation during the pandemic. Grocery and food delivery options. We have a couple of records here, but the one in particular I wanted to highlight was the grocery delivery options. This listing contains information about grocery delivery services and online ordering for people who want to limit their in-person visits to the store. Legal Questions and Services provides information about court services during the pandemic, as well as good sources of information for legal questions on a variety of topics, including rights related to work and employment, family law matters, and housing eviction questions. So the top part of this record talks about legal aid resources as well as courthouse resources that are available during the pandemic. And then there's information provided by Community Legal Education Ontario, which looks at a variety of different topics and questions that people may have related to specifically the COVID-19 pandemic and the situation that they find themselves in. And the last group of records we have are the assessment centers. This lists all of the COVID-19 assessment centers in Simcoe County. In Barrie, there are currently 3 testing centers. There's one at the Barrie and Community Family Medicine Clinic on Big Bay Point Road. There's also one at Royal Victoria Hospital, runs one on Sperling Drive. And then there's one other one at the Barrie Community Health Center on Huronia Road. Information about who can be tested and whether you need an appointment or can walk in without an appointment has been changing at all of these assessment centers. Information Barrie staff are closely monitoring this information and updating the listings frequently. Be sure to check the IB database if you are unsure whether you can or should be tested. Take some time to explore the Information Barrie community database. If you need more help, please call us at 705-728-1010, option 3, or email us at askus@barrielibrary.ca.